Hi guys, this is Tina back in for another quick story. The story that I wanted to talk about today is about online dating again. I know I focus a lot on this, but it is to me I think it's a really scary thing. A lot of people are putting themselves in danger to go out on dates and it's not like we're meeting people like we used to, before. Everybody's too busy looking at their cell phones nowadays. So anyway, the person that I want to talk about today, her name is Ingrid Lynn. So in Washington, it was in April of 2016, April the 8th of 2016, she was to go on a date that's with someone that she met online. His name was James Robert Charleston. So I guess apparently from what I've read, they had been speaking for about a month. And it said something about them dating for about a month, but I don't see anything about them actually like physically meeting. So I don't see any of that in the case. So the really sad part is that this Ingrid, she was 40, she had three daughters, and she was, divorced and going out and was excited, looking forward to this date that she was going on. They were going to the Mariners game, so you think you'd feel pretty safe, going to a game and hanging out with the person, so they go out on a date. And so apparently after the game they go to some bar. Possibly there was some drinking that was involved on the side of John, apparently. And so then John says he wakes up the next day in downtown Seattle, somewhere just passed out, right? So the next day, Ingrid's ex would bring the three girls home, because they were co parenting, and realized that Ingrid wasn't home and that her phone and her purse was still there at the house. And then so he proceeded to call the mother, and they went ahead and called 911. Ingrid was a nurse. She was said to be like very high, strong spirited, very feisty, but very. She was petite but really strong, for just strong personality, strong woman. So anyway, she goes on this date, and what ends up happening is James, sorry, John Charleston tries to say that, he doesn't remember, but a lot of people say they don't buy that story. So the results were that she had been strangled and then eventually dismembered. So they were able to find they found a saw and parts of the body in the bathroom. And then also, I guess for a couple of days, they found parts of her body that had been wrapped in trash bags and stuffed in places. And people were finding them. One man had come out to his house. This was in Renton, Washington, I believe. He went out to go and check his trash and found human remains. There are parts of her body that were never actually found, but it was very traumatizing, not only just for, obviously devastating for Ingrid and their family, but also the entire town was freaking out because they were still finding pieces of her days after. So, it's just kind of crazy. It doesn't mean that I don't see anything about him having previous records. So like I said, I always put here a true people search. I use that. Again, I'm not getting paid here. I'm not monetized yet on YouTube. I'm hoping to get there. But I would, like to give you the information to at least do a check. So what you can do is run the person's name through these checks. You can go to Google, type in true people search, and then it'll give you the option to add the phone number that they gave you, and then you can at least find out past addresses. Then you can cross-reference that. I mean, I know I sound paranoid, but I'm just telling you that, of course, there's a lot of online dates that go great, but there's some that you're really putting yourself in a stranger's hand, and some people can seem very charismatic at first, right? And then once they get you alone, they can become crazy. I mean, I know that I've come across some situations in my life where, someone has overpowered me for a moment. It was pretty scary. So, I'm just trying to make sure that I help you try to stay safe. Also, that these stories are heard. I feel that Ingrid's story is awful. She was a nurse, like she had everything going for her. She had three daughters, and she was seemed to be having a happy life, just trying to date, and this is what she got. So do your due diligence if you decide to go on any type of internet date. And also, I would recommend, now again, this is a recommendation, try not to get into the car with anyone. Once you're in the car, you've subjected yourself to something unsafe. So just want to make sure that you guys stay safe out there. Okay, I really do appreciate the fact that you've watched this video. I hope that Ingrid's family doesn't feel any disrespect from me. If anything, I feel more scared that Charlton is his last name, only got 27.75 years. It doesn't say life. It just says that he got this certain amount of time and that was the max that the judge could give him for that crime in Washington at that time. So this guy could get out. That's even more scary to consider that. And, sometimes what they do halves. So sometimes, he could be out in 14 years, or is he going to, did they sentence him to like, okay, he's not going to be released until this time. I don't see how that we'll have to see how all that plays out, but I just can't imagine a predator like this. Even the life sentence should be like a no-brainer. But again, I do understand the law. I do understand that every state has their own laws. I do understand that the judge did and was very angry with him when she sentenced him and said that some very mean, harsh words to him, but I think he deserved it. The good news is that he avoided a trial and just pled guilty. So he took the guilty plea rather than put the family through the whole heinous trial. So in any event, guys, please follow, like, or subscribe. If you want to watch, that's fine too. I could really use subscribers as I'm getting closer to hopefully monetization. All right, guys, take care in the meantime. I'll talk to you soon.